Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a company's latest filing, and this one is a bit like a corporate game of musical chairs filled with promotions, approvals, and votes. It's not always as thrilling as it sounds, but let's see if we can uncover something interesting. And before we get started, if you enjoy getting direct insights from these corporate filings, hit that subscribe button. Also, join our Discord community linked in the description below. We have lots of interesting business discussions. This is a Form 8K, a current report that companies file to announce major events. The report is for ECOLAB Incorporated and it's dated May 7, 2025. Think of it like a corporate announcement detailing significant changes and decisions. First up, there's a change on the board of directors. Marion Gross has been appointed as a member of the board. She will also be on the Compensation and Human Capital Management Committee, as well as the Safety, Health and Environment Committee. Basically, she's taking on some pretty important roles within the company's leadership. Before joining ECOLAB's board, Ms. Gross was the Executive Vice President Global Chief Supply Chain Officer at McDonald's Corporation. She worked there for a long time and recently retired in April of 2025. So she brings a lot of experience in supply chain management to ECOLAB. The filing states there were no special deals or understandings that led to Ms. Gross being appointed as a director. Also, there aren't any conflicts of interest between her and the company that need to be disclosed. Next, let's talk about some changes to the company's legal documents. ECOLAB stockholders approved amendments or changes to the company's restated certificate of incorporation. These changes limit the liability of certain officers, which is something Delaware law allows. It also involves some other small insignificant changes. These amendments became official when the company filed a certificate of amendment with the state of Delaware in May of 2025. After that, the board approved a restated certificate of incorporation. This is basically an updated version that includes all the changes but doesn't add anything new. If you want to read the exact legal language, the full restated certificate is included as an exhibit in this filing. The company held its annual meeting of stockholders. At the meeting, several important issues were put to a vote. As of the record date in March of 2025, there were over 283 million shares of ECOLAB common stock issued and outstanding. At the annual meeting, more than half of these shares were represented either in person or by proxy, which means they had enough people present to make decisions. The first vote was to elect 13 directors to serve for a year. All 13 nominees, including Judson Olthoff, Shari Ballard, and Christoph Beck, were elected. The votes in favour were overwhelmingly high, signalling strong support from shareholders. For example, Judson Olthoff got over 230 million votes in favour. The second vote was on an advisory basis, meaning it's not binding. It concerned the compensation of the company's top executives. The shareholders approved the compensation with more than 210 million votes in favour. However, there were also about 24 million votes against, indicating some level of disagreement with the executive pay packages. The third item was to ratify the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers as ECOLAB's independent accounting firm for the year ending in December of 2025. This is a standard procedure to ensure the company's financials are audited by a trusted firm. The proposal was approved with over 280 million votes in favour. Finally, shareholders voted on amending the company's restated certificate of incorporation to limit the liability of certain officers, as allowed by Delaware law. This proposal was also approved with almost 210 million votes in favour. The company issued two news releases on May 8, 2025. One announced Ms. Gross's election to the board, and the other announced the results of the annual meeting. It's basically keeping everyone updated on what's happening. The exhibits include the restated certificate of incorporation and the news releases. Here is the link to the certificate if you want to read it. Here is the link to ECOLAB news release. So, what do we make of all this? ECOLAB seems to be reinforcing its leadership structure with the addition of Ms. Gross. Her background in supply chain management could be a significant asset. The shareholder vote suggests there is broad support for the company's direction. However, the substantial votes against executive compensation do indicate that not everyone is entirely happy with the pay packages for top executives. Accept broad support for the company's direction. However, the substantial votes against executive compensation do indicate that not everyone is entirely happy with the pay packages for top executives. From the outside, ECOLAB appears to be a stable company making routine adjustments. There are no red flags, but it's always worth keeping an eye on executive compensation and how that aligns with company performance. Alright, that's our breakdown of ECOLAB's latest filing. What's your take on these changes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.